A blind knight that uses echolocation, viewing the dark, treacherous world through sound. Trapped in a dungeon keep, endangered by combatants, where hazards lurk around every corner. Make sound to have vision, or don't and be stealthy. Avoid impaling threats throughout the dungeon to escape. Engage with other prisoners.
Rogue Knight I've been hearing about. Could you find the key and unlock my cell?
Free them to fight back with more allies. Let's take this guy. The Dungeon Labyrinth has many paths and even more traps. Struggle through the darkness to find your freedom. A blind knight that uses echolocation, viewing the dark, treacherous world.
Well, hello again, everyone. This is Gary Gotzo, the voice of the FIS, and welcome to P1's broadcasting coverage of Round 7 of Season 7 of the Formula Indy Series as we come to you today from the Milwaukee Mile for the first ever short oval race in series history for the EchoBlade 150 here on the fairgrounds up here in just north of in Milwaukee, just north of Chicago area. And we got some pretty good conditions out there. I don't think we're going to see really weather impacting these cars at all. 70 degrees ambient, 74 degrees track temperature. Stevie is here joining me as always. Stevie, 8th oval race in series history. I think you've been here with me for all of them. And we are on our first short oval, and we're seeing familiar names up at the top of the charts.
Indeed we are. Caleb Bensi, Gavin Sanders, Titus Sherlock, your big three in the championship thus far, sitting right at the top of the board, and I definitely come to expect that. It may be the first short oval that the series has run, but it's definitely not the first short oval that these guys have run. And you have a bunch of, and you actually have a few people, Hunter Engrab now bouncing up to 3rd place on his qualifying run there. So you're seeing a few people like Hunter Engrab making good times already, and a few, I'm looking at particularly guys like Nick Goyette and Kyle Allen in the top 10 thus far, and James Watson and Matt Schlosser as well. They're making some big efforts here in qualifying, and that could make a lot of difference at Milwaukee. It's a short oval. It's difficult to make a pass on, so you got to make it where it counts. Qualifying is one place, and you got to make your moves work. Milwaukee has always been a fun challenge for these guys, and it's been a favorite for over a century at this point in the real world. Let's see how these guys bring this league here. I think it's going to be a great show.
Very dangerous pit road that we're looking at right here to get on and off of. But yes, this is one of the oldest racetracks in the world, even rivaling that of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Let's get ready to set the field here for qualifications. Or actually, qualifications is done. We get a little bit of a warm-up, and that's enough time to read off this monster lineup as we have quite the lineup again today. Not quite to that 30 number, but just on the verge of it. And that's going to leave these guys. Cars. Yeah, these guys are going to be in traffic for a lot of this race.
Oh yeah, the leader has definitely got to do some passing of their own, right? and that leader, at least coming to the green, is going to be Caleb Bensi, the winner last time out at Laguna Seca, looking to make big strides in the championship fight against Titus Sherlock, only 1 point behind Titus. This is going to be an interesting championship struggle from here on out. He'll be alongside Gavin Sanders to start off this race, who tried to run him down at Laguna as well. Can that favor be returned? Hunter Engrab up into 3rd place on this one. Very good start. Let's see if he can hold on for the whole 150 laps. Alongside him will be Titus Sherlock, championship leader and winner 3 times this season, already off to a great start this year. Nate Siefker will start off 5th. Great effort for a former champion in the series. He's going to start alongside Nick Goyette in the number 12. Kyle Allen's number 999 will start off in 7th, alongside Logan Spath in the number 8. A good effort for him, not quite what he was looking for. James Watson will start off 9th in the 39 machine. Good run for him, and he'll be alongside the 400 of Matt Schlosser, rounding out the top 10. Row number 6 is going to be Matt Johnston and JJ Wang. Row number 7, Kostek Solwich and Christopher Hill. Row 8's Dakota DeMade and Tristan Moss. Row number 9 is going to be Dan Miglin and Joshua Rutherford. Row 10, Joey Selmetz and Brian Labarge. Row number 11, Takeshi Kita and Tommy Raval. Raval, a bit of a struggle there in qualifying. Row 12, Hayden Herman and Cody Claiborne. The Fish cars got some work to do tonight. And row 13, Corey Rutherford and Sebastian Gianni. And shotgun on the field, the only driver not supposed to qualify in time so far in this race is Kyle Mundell in the 06. Not quite as big, but with a track only a mile long, I think there's a limit to how many people would want to see on this track.
Right.
That's definitely something we got to keep an eye on here, is going to be the traffic situation, especially for some of the drivers who, of course, this is more of a road racing series. A lot of these drivers are obviously familiar with oval racing. It's not like they're a bunch of newbies at this game, but it's going to be a case where some drivers are going to be getting the gist of it faster than others, and it's going to lead to some situations where, once again, as I said, the leaders got to do some passing of their own. Lap traffic, I think, will definitely come and be a factor here tonight.
We got 2 minutes left here in the warm-up. We're just letting the camera roll, but here are the points rolling into today's round. As mentioned, Sherlock with the 1-point lead over Caleb Benzie, and a distance just about 30 points behind is Tanner in 3rd, Gavin Sanders 4th, Papasavas in 5th, Spass 6th, Ingrev, Wang, Mundell, and Kidda in 10th. Not all those names are in the lineup, so we're going to see some movement here in the top 10 possibly at the end of tonight's race. That is the overall points. Here are the amateur points. And Raval is your leader, but he is getting a bit of a rough start today. He's kind of buried back in the field. Alan Herman, Rutherford, Claiborne. Then we have the other Rutherford. That is, we got Corey, and then what is the other Rutherford? Joshua Rutherford. I see Jay there, and I almost said Johnny, and that's a bad habit of mine. But that's and he did win here 4 times, by the way. So there is success with the Rutherford family here at the mile. But he is 6th, Miglin 7th, Cook in 8th, Ogden 9th, and DuBois in 10th. Let's move on to the team points here as we are just getting ready to round out here. Interesting. As there we go. That's why.
Yeah.
The overlay was over a button that I could not push. There we go. Stowe. Then we got Stowe Maroon is our leader. Then we got Eclipse Blue, Eclipse Competition, Dynasty Vision, PBR Motorsports, Olaf Gemini, TWR Gold, TWR SJ, and Fiercely Forward. That is your top 10 with your leader coming into today, Stowe Maroon, 314 over 288 over Eclipse Blue.
Checkered flag is out. Caleb Benzie coming on the pit road, practicing that pit entrance there. And you saw what happened there just now when things can go bad coming on the pit road. This is a very, very tricky pit entrance here. It always has been. It always will be. Milwaukee always has some curveballs to throw at you. And let's see how many of them can hit them off the bat this time. 150 laps, 150 miles here in West Allis at the Milwaukee Fairgrounds. Everyone's slowly getting themselves onto the grid. Of course, unlike our road course races, we will of course start from behind the pace car. I mean, I don't think too many people would ever suspect this to be a standing start race.
That would be interesting if it was allowed in the rules. I'm not even sure if it's allowed in the rules, but that would be very, very
I don't
interesting.
think I've ever seen it, but it'd be cool to try out if it was possible.
Now, we have done the standing start, I believe, at Daytona. I think we did one race at Daytona one year. I could be wrong. I have to go back and look in FIS history, but you can do a standing start at Daytona for the road course.
Yes, you can.
Yeah, but not here on the oval, and I don't even think the road course is an option to run here, even though you might be able to see it in the scan. But we are underway, getting ready to go to green this next time by for 150 laps, 150 miles for the EchoBlade, 150 here at the Milwaukee Mile, everyone in good formation. And frankly, this is about the size field you will see later this year when the NTT IndyCar Series does come to Milwaukee. It'll be about 27, 28 cars. So what you see here is what you will see in real life here in just a few months. Opening weekend this week.
It'll be great to see IndyCars back in Milwaukee in real life. Waiting on that pace car to peel in. As we wait for IndyCars to return to Milwaukee IRL, we're going to have a good show here. Green flag flies, slow start there. Caleb Bensi brought them in pretty slow. Gavin Sanders right alongside as they head to turn 1, and Hunter Engrav trying to look to the inside on Sanders. Everyone trying to get themselves in order there, trying to make up positions. 3 wide towards the middle of the field. Everyone making it through 1 and 2 smoothly thus far. Caleb Bensi still holding down the point. Gavin Sanders a bit wide through 3 and 4. Hunter Engrav's going to have momentum. This is the battle for second. Sanders forcing Engrav up high. Can he hold it on the low side here? That high side's got some momentum, though. Hunter Engrav, beautiful launch off the corner. Move him to P2.
3 and 4 wide, further on back around Dakota the Maid.
Oh, very close as Logan Spath taking the fight to Titus Sherlock. Sherlock struggled there on that start. All the way down 2 spots now to 6th place as Spath gets around him.
Caution on the racetrack. And we got Dan Miglin. And there is Joshua Rutherford. Unfortunately, already in the incident going into 1. And let's see what happens here. Oh, no. Miglin just gets in the back of Rutherford. Rutherford just taking it easy, just rolling out of it to get to the corner. And Miglin piles into the back of him. And Rutherford, an innocent bystander, truly an innocent bystander on that one.
Yeah, just very unfortunate. I guess he didn't realize how much he was going to be slowing down for that corner. But with all the traffic in the way there, that was something that someone in Rutherford's situation, I presume he was just taking it easy to start this race. And I wouldn't blame him for that. But sometimes people don't realize you're taking it easy at the start.
Saw a very similar incident in the Velocity Online Racing IndyCar Series race. Just like this, very early in the race going into turn 1. I think people were just kind of trying to get into a bit of a rhythm, and others weren't prepared for that. And very much a similar incident in this race from my coverage of that race just a couple weeks ago. So, unfortunately, two drivers out very early here at Milwaukee. A number of drivers coming to pit road to top off. Hayden Herman and Corey Rutherford coming to top off on pit road. Probably not a bad move. There are no tire limits. So smoke them if you got them. I mean, you might as well.
Yeah, definitely. And with no limit on the amount of tires you got here, I mean, it doesn't hurt, especially if you're back at the back of the pack anyway, like Herman and Rutherford were. Herman, I believe, was given an EOL penalty at the start of this race. He had to serve that at the start of this event for a previous incident. So probably worked out pretty well, and he didn't lose a lot of track position for it. So let's see what that 55 machine can do.
Looks like Joshua was checking in chat, and as he says, well.
Well, indeed. I'm real sorry about that, Josh. That's always brutal, especially so early on in the race. Just never feels any better, but Let's on to the next one then. The next time out, we are going to be in Deutschland.
Yeah,
we're going to be in Germany.
Yes.
The Sachsenring.
For the very first time on this for this series and for this channel. We've never done a race from there before, so that's a new track we all have to buy. Coming to green flag this time by, just like at Texas. A very early caution to set the tone here. But coming to green flag here at lap 70. If you just joined us, thanks for joining us. We still have a very long way to go. We have 150 laps scheduled tonight. So make sure to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel so you'll miss out on the next race. And don't forget, opening weekend for the IIS this Saturday at 1 p.m. Eastern right here on P1. Here we go, green flag in the air. We're back underway as we are dodging people a little bit further back.
Yeah, Bensi brought them around pretty slow once more, trying to get a jump on Engrav, and he did so rather well. He's got a bit of a gap now as Gavin Sanders tries to take the fight to Engrav, but everyone else getting in the fight here. And one driver I'm noticing a bit of a struggle so far at the start of this race is Titus Sherlock, our championship leader coming into this race. He is now under pressure from the 400 machine. Matt Schlosser looking to the inside in turn one. Not the best start for our championship leader in 311.
Good wheel-to-wheel. Good
wheel-to-wheel stuff.
And JJ
Sherlock
Wang side by side, right behind him with Goyette, with Hill following through. We're going to go 3 wide behind him with James Watson on the high side.
Yep, getting a little bit chippy, and it looks to me like you could definitely run some different lines here. It's not just going to be a hug the bottom fest that a lot of these drivers probably were expecting, because that patch of asphalt on the inside of the curb tends to be the way to go in a lot of cases. But you're getting a lot of momentum on that high side. I'm seeing drivers like Nick Goyette up there taking the fight to JJ Wang up on that high line there and making good work of it.
Caleb continues to set purple laps, being out front in clean air, pulling away. It is Bensi, Ingrave, Sanders, Seifert, Spath, your top 5. In that top 5, Bensi has a win on an oval, Sanders has a win on the oval, and Nate Seifert has a ruled win on an oval.
Sanders blinking. That was a big blink there for Gavin Sanders. He disappeared for a good bit there, and that allows Seifert up into 3rd place. So Gavin Sanders, a little bit of connectivity issues, and it's costing him a position so far.
He's going to try to get it back.
Yes, he is. He's going to be looking to the inside in turn 1. Really dives it deep there, clears him. Seifert trying to get momentum on the high side. And he's still there. He's got the run he's looking for. Still wheel to wheel. That middle groove there working very well for the 2 right now. And it's going to give him a lot of momentum and going to give him the position at the stripe. And Logan Spath, the interested spectator in it all.
And then right behind him, Titus Sherlock and Schlosser side by side. Now we got Spath getting the bead in the inside of Gavin. Gavin just cuts across the nose, gives him the old Brazilian clear, but now we're back in single file line. Seifert, Sanders, and Spath, 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Seifert now on the high side. Sanders back to the low side. He just can't slide up as they're going to come wheel to wheel off the corner. And that way with the high line, yeah, he's got the high line momentum for Seifert, plus the draft of the car in front of him. Here's another run for Gavin.
Yeah, this is turning into a really interesting dynamic here. I think a lot of people, when they think of the Milwaukee Mile, they think of a track where it's hard to pass and you have to hug the bottom in the middle of the corner. That doesn't seem to be the case so far tonight. The track conditions and the setups they got, they're really working multiple grooves here, and it can work either way for these guys. That high groove, though, looking to get a lot of momentum on exit, and that ultimately, I think, is what these guys are looking for.
I think Gavin has that position secured for now, but he had to earn it.
Indeed, he did. And yeah, Sanders really had to fight tooth and nail for that, and now Logan Spath climbing up on the gearbox of the 2 machine as well, and they're still distancing themselves a good bit, even all the same, from Titus Sherlock back in 6th, still fighting with Schlosser, though he has cleared him for the time being, and Tristan Moss from 16th on the grid, I'll note, up into 8th and taking this fight to Schlosser and Sherlock.
Sanders, purple lap that time by 160.9.
Yeah, about 3/10 up on both the leaders right now, on Hunter Engrave and Caleb Bensi. They're running pretty even lap times in the 22.6s. He's running 22.3s. Coming around this time, they were about even that go around. So, seems to be a game of momentum here on all parts, as Siefker still trying to hold off an angry Logan Spath, trying to get all the positions he possibly can.
Now remember, Siefker has only been ruled a win as he got on the rumble strips there a little bit, got his car loosened up, and it's kind of a slow exit off the corner down the front straight, but he had a ruled win. He did not cross the start-finish line first and get the checkered flag, but that was a fantastic race. And you have to go back to the old channel to watch that, but that back in Season 4 of the Formula Indy Series at Michigan, that was probably one of the more exciting Michigan races that I think we've ever called. But
I remember that.
You remember that. I remember it too. Bruno Miranda took the win, but he used the apron coming to the checkered flag, and the apron was ruled coming to the checkered flag as out of bounds. And so he was given a one-lap penalty at the end, and that gave the win to Seifer, who finished second in that race. So he gets credit for a win here on the oval, but has yet to officially taken a checkered flag. But still, a win's a win. He's looking for win number 2 on an oval day. So is Gavin Sanders. He won at Texas earlier this season. Those are the only drivers we have in the lineup. Actually, Dakota DeMade, he has a win on an oval at Indianapolis in Season 3. He's looking for win number 2 on an oval. So those are the guys in the lineup that are looking for their second win on an oval. And once they do, they become the career wins leader on the ovals here in the Formula Indy Series.
Yeah, that's amazing. We've never had a repeat winner on ovals. It's definitely a really interesting stat to contemplate. We don't typically race on ovals, as we all know, in this series. But the fact that we haven't had a king of the ovals, as it were, the king of left turns, it's still quite fascinating. We may get that at some point this season, because we have multiple ovals that we were racing on this year. We were at Texas earlier. We're now here at Milwaukee.
And then later this season, here is your Season 7 schedule, by the way. We'll go to Nashville. Which
Yeah,
that is an extremely challenging racetrack for these cars.
Oh yeah, speaking from experience, that track is it's fun when you can get it right, but if you don't get it right, it's a challenge for sure.
Hunter Engrave just went purple last time by, so he is starting to reel in our leader.
Yeah, and looking at these
22-3.
Yeah, 22-3 here for Hunter Engrave. It's still holding pretty even, all things considered, between Bensi and Engrave. Around 9/10 of a second is the gap thus far, and Gavin Sanders sitting about 1.7 in arrears of the leaders. But meanwhile, this battle for fourth is not dissipated at all. Spath trying to put the pressure on the low side there, as I see Tristan Moss, who's worked his way up into 6th place and got around his teammate Titus Sherlock, running way up cozy with that wall there.
Well, Schlosser got around Sherlock, and then Sherlock had a bad entry and exit in the 3 and 4, and allowed Schlosser. Sherlock got back around Schlosser in 3 and 4, and now he picked up the position he lost a lap ago. So Sherlock's in 7th, Schlosser back in 8th, Christopher Hill in 9th, JJ Wang 10th, and Dakota DeMade, he's in 12th. We watched him go about 4 wide back on lap 2, I think. James Watson in 11th. These two guys have many, many starts here at this track, many starts on ovals in IndyCars.
Indeed so, and Dakota DeMade, as you mentioned, one of those drivers who scored a win on an oval in the series at Indianapolis way back when. It's a bit of a struggle so far tonight, started 15th, currently running 12th, but regardless, still some good opportunities here and a good fight right now with James Watson. Can be the first one of them.
I asked Dakota earlier in the week, I said, didn't you win one of the Velocity Online Racing League in their IndyCar Championship, one of their earlier seasons? Did you win a race here at Milwaukee? He wrote back, he said, I won 2. So, so who's counting, you know?
Yeah.
But Dakota getting a run off of 3 and 4 underside of Watson, trying to get this position, but 2 wins in the Velocity Online Racing IndyCar Championship Series. And he is looking to get his second ever FIS win after getting his first at Indianapolis back in season 3.
But as it stands now, Caleb Benzie looking to be a driver to add himself onto that list of oval winners. Benzie still about 8/10 over Hunter Engrav at the moment. Still been a dominating performance so far. Lap 33 of 150. And keeping an eye elsewhere, that championship battle, it's Benzie who is behind by a point, currently leading the race from the pole. And Titus Sherlock, our championship leader, currently sits 7th, and he's still got Matt Schlosser in his rearview mirrors.
06 Champ in chat asked for weather. There are your weather conditions. And these are not very challenging conditions for this group of guys. 70 degrees ambient, 80 degrees track temperature, and only a 1 mile per hour wind out of the north. So this is not going to impact these guys at all, really. All race long. Tanner DeFavis Racing checking in. Let's go Eclipse. Well, the lead Eclipse car at the moment is Tristan. There he is coming off the corner. Then there is Titus, our points leader, coming into the race. If we were to finish right now, he would not be our points leader. He is back in 7th, and he has been attacked pretty much all race long by Matt Schlosser in that 400.
Yeah,
these guys have been battling.
Working on the low side in that fight.
These guys have literally been battling since the drop of the green flag. We are 36 laps into this run, and these guys have been at it, almost every single one of them.
Yes, indeed. And that's also something to consider with Tanner DeFavis being in the chat. You may be thinking to yourself, wait a minute, isn't Tanner DeFavis 3rd in points coming into this race? Yes, he is, but he's not in the race. So that's another driver who may well be losing positions after tonight is over. I'm definitely, with him being a racing driver in real life, of course, the same with Titus Sherlock and several of his teammates at Team Eclipse. They race in the USF 2000 series and in the Indy Pro series as well on the road to Indy. They've got their own commitments here, so they're definitely not going to be showing up for every race, but when they do, they put on fantastic shows as we've seen all throughout the season.
And, of course, this is the opening weekend coming up of the NTT IndyCar Series as they open their 2025 campaign at St. Petersburg. I would imagine a lot of these drivers also have that in mind and on their travel itineraries. Watching Nate Siefker right now, former series champion, leading Logan Spath. A little bit further back, that battle between Sherlock and Schlosser still rages on.
Yeah, Schlosser's really been putting in a good performance so far tonight. He started off 10th, currently running 8th, and fighting out with the driver who has really cemented himself as a star on the rise here is Titus Sherlock. 3 wins so far this season, leading the championship as a rookie. The dude races in real life, of course. He's racing USF 2000s. So he definitely knows the tricks of the trade from real life and bringing it into the sim world. And Matt Schlosser seems to be, I imagine he's definitely going to be getting some tips from him from tonight's race.
Well, Hunter lost the purple lap, and then he just got it back. So even with worn tires, we are 42 laps into the stint right now for everybody. With worn tires, showing that the lighter these cars get, the faster they are getting right now. And the more time they put on this track, the faster these times are dropping. So Ingrave goes purple. And now Caleb starts to experience lap traffic in front of him. And it's in Tommy Raval, our amateur leader, who is fallen back to 24th at the moment, is 1.1 seconds ahead of him. And that is well within the draft/dirty air envelope that these cars put off, that Caleb is actually going to face for the first time all race long.
Yeah, and this is getting to the point where I said it before, quoting the late Bill France Sr., that the leader's got to do some passing of his own, right? Well, we're about to see that so far. Caleb Benzie's had it pretty comfortable throughout this whole race, but then he realizes he's going so fast, he's catching up to more cars.
Ingrave goes purple again, by the way.
Yeah, the gap went from 1.1 to 8 tenths, now down to 7 tenths. Caleb Benzie and Hunter Engrav. Engrav is seeing this lap traffic here, and he's thinking, there's some opportunity to be had here.
That's what he sees there. That's an opportunity for sure. And Rival doesn't really put up much of a fight, puts up a little bit of a fight for Caleb, not much of a fight at all for Hunter. So Hunter now is within a half a second as the first two leaders are on by the first lap car they encounter. We got two more in front of them. That is Sebastian Gianni and Kyle Allen. Right now, this is not a race to be an amateur in right now. Your lead amateur is Cody Claiborne in the Fish car in 16th spot. Beyond that, the amateurs are really struggling today. And I will say, this isn't for an oval. I mean, it looks pretty straightforward from the air. It looks like a paperclip, right? This is not an easy track at all.
No, it is not. It's one of those incredibly deceptive tracks out there that, even though it looks from a basic standpoint like it should be a simple left turn here, left turn there, kind of a supersized Martinsville kind of track. It has its own different grip levels on each lane of the track. We almost saw that firsthand. Sebastian Gianni really not enjoying getting sucked up in the leaders as Hunter
Engrav makes contact, and we see Caleb goes purple that lap, but looks like Gianni lost one of his left front wing plane, and I'm wondering if it may be any damage on Engrav's car. But unfortunately, Gianni is going to have to come to pit road to get that replaced. Now, we are close to the first round of pit stops. If people want to make a two-stopper here, we're at lap 50. You could go to a two-stopper if you want at this point. Go 50, 100, and then you're home. So he's going to need to get down low on the racetrack while all this fast traffic is going around him. He needs to get down low so he can try to enter on the pit road. And the pit road entry here is extremely hard.
Yes, it is, and doubly so with a broken front wing. But now he's coming down on the pit road, takes it in. Very close. Very close to that barrel there, but gets it down to his marks. And that's what we're talking about. That pit road is so tricky here at Milwaukee. And you can see the tire tracks from where he locked up the brakes coming onto pit road here. This track is like, even if you've driven it hundreds and hundreds of times, it can still catch you out. It does not matter.
Well, and then never mind getting on the pit road. Look at this road getting off of pit road. Go ahead, finish it up.
Yeah, like the big thing there is that you got that big dip in the pit exit there through the middle of 1 and 2, and you also got to be very careful you don't come back onto the track and hit a driver that's coming right by you.
Yeah, we've seen that before in the VOR series. A driver got loose on that very apron right there and then spun right up into the racetrack and took out one of the leaders, just happened to be coming by. 100% innocent bystander.
So easy to do here as well. There's always that temptation to just put that throttle down a little bit more because you're trying to race someone coming off a pit road, and then the grip level just goes away and it bites you for your arrogance.
Schlosser and Sherlock still for 7th and 8th. Sherlock underneath, getting alongside. And these guys have shown extreme patience.
Yeah, it's quite amazing that they haven't gotten bored of each other's company at this point, though I'm pretty sure Sherlock in particular, he didn't want this fight right from the beginning. Lap 55, and these guys have pretty much been wheel to wheel throughout that entire time as I'm looking behind.
Schlosser gets the position, but instead of coming up the racetrack, he's going to stay defensive down low. Sherlock up high, getting a run. Here comes J.J. Wang into the picture, making a three-way battle. Right behind him, a battle of two former winners here in this series, DeMade and Hill.
Dakota DeMade up to 10th place so far. Very good start. And fighting it out with Christopher Hill, the driving instructor. And been a solid start for both these drivers. Started in the middle of the top 15, now knocking on the door of top 10s. And DeMade's case, he's in the top 10 as it stands.
And again on the high side, Titus Sherlock trying to get the pass on Schlosser. Schlosser just is now starting to pull away a little bit. I'm wondering maybe if Sherlock has exceeded the usefulness of those tires by racing for the position so hard. Now he's kind of falling back into the clutches of JJ. JJ wants to send it to the inside. Titus isn't going to give him much of a hole to stick that nose into. And we're still racing down the front stretch as Schlosser pulls away, and Sherlock and Wang now have the battle on the racetrack. This is for 8th.
Yeah, Wang definitely seems to have the grip advantage on his side as they, very close there. Looked like Sherlock wanted to go for the middle lane there, and so did Wang. Lap 60. This is the battle on for 8th place. Titus Sherlock, the championship leader, coming into tonight, and JJ Wang. This is not the race that Sherlock has wanted for sure. There's a lot of still a lot of time to play. Let's not make two ways about it. But JJ Wang really putting him under pressure. He's got the grip. Look at the launch. Going into turn number 1. JJ Wang all the way down that low side there, but Sherlock, as we saw with Schlosser, he's going to try and fight it back on the high line.
Yeah, he grabs a little bit of the rumble strip there to help the car rotate. You grab too much of it, it'll bring the back end around. You grab just enough of it, it'll help the car rotate as he scooches up a little bit. Gets comfy next to Sherlock, but not close enough for netcode to take effect as we go side by side this time. Through 1 and 2, one more time. Now back to the lead as Sherlock, as JJ is going to have to reassess and reattack.
Yeah, that was a very close call there. I think Wang just didn't have the grip that he wanted in the middle of the corner, and it's really a matter of precise input and really just placing the car where you want it to be. And in Titus Sherlock's case, his tires are probably well and truly knackered at this point. JJ Wang obviously has the stronger mechanical grip underneath him.
Hunter Ingrave on pit road. Battle for 6th right now between Tristan Moss and Schlosser as they're side by. Tristan up into the gray, and I think on corner entry he might have smacked the wall, and now moves Schlosser up to 5th as he goes defensive again.
He did get the wall. Tristan Moss did get the wall in turn 1. Still fighting it out with Schlosser, but Schlosser has that position. So Matt Schlosser.
Something happened to Hunter Ingrave. He is out.
Oh, no.
Did he speed on pit road and just punch out, or did we have a DC, or what? I'm not sure.
He's had connection failure.
Oh, no.
Oh, God.
To no fault of his own.
Like,
to no fault of his own. Yeah.
Absolutely not. That's, like, this guy, he deserves so much better results than what he's getting here tonight. He was on track for 2nd place this whole race.
Logan Spath, Moss on pit road. Logan Spath and Moss on pit road. Bency in traffic right around his teammate.
Yeah, and looking at that's Hayden Herman that Caleb is stuck behind at the moment. A teammate to him for sure, and definitely going to be playing well with his teammate, no doubt. But it's definitely not the situation that Caleb wants to be in, especially when Gavin Sanders
is right. Yeah, there's that, and you got cars coming on pit road in front of him, but all the positions in front of Hayden are for position. So, I mean, he doesn't necessarily want to. Car there. As we go too wide in front of the leader with a lap down car, and the car at the tail end of the lead lap. Tristan Moss, we know he has pace. Now he is on the outside of our leader, Caleb. Caleb down the backstretch. Tristan, I don't. Caution on the racetrack. Brian LaBarge.
Brian LaBarge on pit road.
Wait a minute, Nick Goyette, excuse me. I think LaBarge was on a scheduled stop. Nick Goyette upside down. We see Hill with a missing front wing, and he gets into the back of Hill and just launches into the wall.
Oh, my goodness.
Thank goodness this is virtual racing. But what happened to Christopher Hill?
Oh, it looks like contact trying to make out off of turn 2. That is
That is
Kostek Solwich.
Yes.
Kostek Solwich drifts up into him, puts him in the wall there. Solwich, lucky to get away with that one with what seemed to be minimal damage, and then boom.
And that happened in front of Goyette, so Goyette saw it. I don't know if Goyette saw the damage come off the car.
He might not have.
And then he kind of just runs right into the corner, kind of not thinking that there was any damage, and then there's big-time damage on the front and rear now of Hill's car, and we got our second caution of the day as everybody is coming to pit road.
Lap 71, so this is definitely going to be interesting because I'm thinking about fuel mileage here. We're nearing the halfway point.
Titus Sherlock missed his marks, and he had to roll back.
Oh, missed the box. Titus Sherlock is losing positions hand over fist with that. He's got to be kicking himself tonight. Oh, like, this is not the night that him nor Team Eclipse in general wanted for this.
They had a bad night on the first oval at Texas. Remember, right off the bat, two of them got taken out in that lap 1, turn 1 incident.
Yeah, I guess you could say in that case it's a fair bit better in that sense, but still, though, especially with the pace that we know Sherlock has, even on the ovals, even though we're a road racing series, Sherlock has been quick tonight, just hasn't been able to use that pace. But I'm thinking about... But as I was saying, I'm thinking about fuel mile. Go ahead. Sorry.
We got Joey Clements getting a little screen time as he's coming to pit road, but missed his stall. So he has to go back around. Hopefully he has enough fuel, but he decided to take a duck down pit road. But he did pick up the lead, but he 100%, I think, needs to stop. He's 70 laps into his stint. That's interesting, but go back to fuel mileage. I don't think we can make it on a one-stopper. We are at the halfway point, but we're okay. We're not going green, so we're going to delay the green this time by.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I think Joey's out of fuel. Oh, wait a minute. No, he's waiting for all the traffic to pass. So something happened to Joey, and we got a delayed green this time by. But again, we went 70 laps for a lot of these guys for that stint. Can we go the necessary now 75 plus to get to 150 and make this a one-stopper? I don't know. That's going to be a little bit of a save, I think.
Yeah, that's definitely going to be a fuel save here. Obviously, we have different fuel map settings these drivers can use. So that's probably the game that some of them I think are going to play. Some of them are going to be sprinting for it. Others, they're going to be dialing back that fuel number probably to map 4 or something at most, and try to save some fuel and get there to the end and jump everyone while they're in the pits. We'll see how that game plays out, but we're nearing the halfway mark, and the strategy game just got interesting.
Tonight's coverage sponsored by EchoBlade by Sunset Arctic Games. EchoBlade is a puzzle combat dungeon explorer. You'll find yourself blind, trapped inside an expansive tower labyrinth. Shrouded in total darkness, you must navigate your way to freedom, using only sound as your guide. To learn more or buy to EchoBlade, find it on Steam today. All the links are in the description. Getting ready to go green this time by. It is Bency, Sanders, Seifer, your top 3. And unfortunately, one of our earlier leaders, in the form of Tristan Moss, he is now caught a lap down, and he is very badly wanting to get up to the leader and get back on the tail end of the lead lap.
Yep, he's already gone around Gavin Sanders, and now Caleb Bency sees that there, and he's thinking, okay, got a bit of a buffer between me and Sanders at the moment. Let them fight, and let me pull away. But obviously, Tristan Moss definitely keen to get back up.
3 wide, 4 wide into 1 and 2, and Solwich to the inside, who's already made contact with Hill once today. He nudges Sherlock. We got a car to the inside. That is Gianni, and LaBarge, I think, might have got a clip. Yeah, he did clip it. And we are going to be cautioned? No, I think we're still green.
No, still green. We are still green. Titus Sherlock still in that fight there with Sebastian Gianni. The 3 wide seems to have dissipated for now, and Sherlock manages to get away with it, but I did see one car just spear off the track, and they did not bring out the caution.
That was Gianni.
I see Joey Selman's also on pit road.
That's Joey. Looks like he had maybe a partial penalty, 34 seconds in the box. LaBarge on pit road. He was involved in that incident with Gianni. Gianni getting currently towing and now under repair on pit road.
Yeah, I already got a few cars back on pit road after all that transpired. We're down to 15 cars left on the lead lap of this race. As I'm looking at Logan Spath and Takeshi Kita fighting it out for 11th place. Spath up there on that high line.
Yeah, Logan did not have a good pit stop, and he ended up as now out of the top 10. Remember, he was in the top 5 at one point.
He was, and that was definitely not the pit cycle he would have wanted. And the same can be said for Titus Sherlock back down there in 9th. And he had to fight tooth and nail to get back into that position.
The inside, and that is Tristan Moss. Something happened to him as he comes off the corner here in 2, down the backstretch. What happened here to Tristan Moss? Because he ends up to the inside grass on 3 and 4. What happened?
Just
the back
spears
end,
off.
The back end just comes around. He catches it, noses into the wall. Just misses Seifker. And he's now to the inside.
Not hit by that, I do not know. That was incredible. Goodness.
But that is day done for Moss.
Oh my goodness. But Tristan Moss, and this has not been Team Eclipse's night. They've really been struggling on the ovals, and this is turning into another struggle fest, it would seem. Oh my goodness. Not the night these guys want. And right now, Titus Sherlock still fighting it out with Logan Spath, who's gotten around Takeshi Kita. And Sherlock is having to deal with another driver who will give him a handful.
Looks like the sun has gone behind the clouds a little bit, so we got some overcast going on. That should bring the track temperature down a little bit, make the racing a little bit more spicier. 71 degrees ambient, 80 out there for the track temperature.
Yeah, I was looking at Takeshi Kita. He overcooked it in turn number 3. Almost ran into the back of Logan Spath and nearly let Hayden Herman by as well. And Herman's now looking to the inside in turn number 3, trying to get that momentum in there, seeing blood in the water from that 64 machine. But meanwhile,
for 12th. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, Hayden Herman, that battle for 12th. He's still trying to fight out there, but I was looking up ahead. Titus Sherlock and company, they're still fighting amongst lap cars alongside Logan Spath, and there's Cody Claiborne's Fish car from 24th to 9th. Very good effort right now by the 31 crew.
Hey, he is the lead amateur at the moment in 9th. He's up 15 spots. He is your Luis Gonzalez Nunez driver of the night so far, up 15 spots. Hayden Herman up 10. Corey Rutherford up 11. Dakota DeMaid up 9.
And looking back behind him there, Spath got a good run off of turn number 4, and he's going to be clearing Sherlock going into 1 and 2. Logan Spath trying to make up momentum there. As we said, he was in the top 5 earlier in this race. He does not like being back down there in 9th place, as it's in 10th place, I should say. But the lead is still Caleb Bensi, who has led pretty much since the drop of the green. Gavin Sanders about 7/10 in a rear, still within striking distance, and Nate Siefker about 1.4 seconds behind our leader. Matt Schlosser from 10th to 4th, and JJ Wang from 12th to 5th. Dakota DeMay from 15th to 6th, and Kostek Sol was 13th to 7th. We've had a lot of climbers so far tonight.
If you're just joining us, this is a coverage of the Formula Indy Series coming to you from Milwaukee for the EchoBlade 150. We've completed now 88 of 150 scheduled laps. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and click the bell for future notifications.
Getting a little chippy again. Hayden Herman and Takeshi Kita fighting it out for 12th. Herman on that low side. Very nearly hits the side pod of Takeshi Kita. Kita's got the run down the back straight, still holding side by side through 3 and 4. Herman trying to get that grip in the middle of the corner on that low line there. Not quite enough to get momentum over Kita, but still holding it wheel to wheel.
Hello, netcode check. Negative at the moment.
Oh, netcode is playing with them very well tonight. Definitely not something you expect to see on the IndyCar side of things. Oh, and it's giving us good close racing, no doubt about that.
Spath around Claiborne.
And Logan Spath getting around Cody Claiborne. And Spath on the charge once again. That's 9th place. Woo! Claiborne getting really cozy with that wall there, and not something you like to do at Milwaukee, that's for sure.
That wall on turn 4 exit just comes up to get you really quick.
Yeah. Kind of like turn 4 at Motegi. You feel like there's magnets in there attracting your car, even though your car is made of carbon fiber. But Logan Spath definitely determined to make up the spots that he lost earlier on, running pretty even time-wise on that last lap with Matt Johnston, who's worked his way up into 8th place from 11th on the grid. Been a quiet night for Matt Johnston, but quietly effective, I'll say that much.
Yeah, up 3 spots to 8th.
And Spath now getting closer and closer. That 3 car has got some good pace. And the same can be said for the leader as well, his teammate Caleb Bensi. But Logan Spath definitely creeping into the picture in this fight for 8th.
Now, before this fight gets too spicy, P1 is broadcasting is excited to announce a brand new crown jewel event for the iRacing IndyCar community. A 600-kilometer, 186-lap battle at Michigan International Speedway on June 7th, 2025. An all-star invite-only roster of the IndyCar iRacing community will take the grid, competing for over $200 in prizes. That number continues to go up. Stay tuned for more details and entry applications. June 7th at Michigan will be a race to remember right here on P1.
Yeah, that's going to be a lot of fun to see. And 600 kilometers
on the wall, big time. Hayden Herman off of 4. He planted it in the turn 4 wall, and we are under caution right at the lap 100 mark.
Oh, and it looked like a bit of a... And it looked like that fight with Takeshi Kida was the cause of it. And Herman got the worst of it. Takeshi Kida still looks like his...
Oh, he blinked. And he just reformed in front of Kid and just nowhere. Oh,
no.
Yeah, you hate seeing that. I hate seeing that.
Absolutely. And it's probably not something that Caleb Bensi wanted to see too much of, though.
Wait a minute now.
The strategy game.
Wait a minute now. This might work into the one-stop strategy now.
This actually could, now that I think of it. And we were seeing earlier that the light tanks were looking to be quicker over the course of the run. It's pretty unusual to see that on an oval.
Who's coming to pit road? Who's coming to... Oh, pump fake. Okay, so everybody but the leaders.
Okay, so this is going to be interesting. I wonder... And that says to me that Bensi and Sanders are looking to make it one stop, but everyone else is playing it safe.
And a wave around for James Watson. He'll get on the tail end of the lead lap. While we are here, let's get a word in from EchoBlade, and we will reset the field for you as pit stops are being completed. And we got 2 competing strategies going on. So stand by. We'll be right back from this word from EchoBlade.
A blind knight that uses echolocation, viewing the dark, treacherous world through sound. Trapped in a dungeon, endangered by combatants, where hazards lurk around every corner. Make sound to have vision, or don't and be stealthy. Avoid impaling threats throughout the dungeon to escape. Engage with other prisoners.
Rogue Knight I've been hearing about. Could you find the key and unlock my cell?
Free them to fight back with more allies.
Let's take this guy.
The dungeon labyrinth has many paths and even more traps. Struggle through the darkness to find your freedom.
Coming to the green flag, this time by, it is Benzie, Sanders, Schlosser, Siefker, Wang, DeMade, Spath, Johnson, Solwedge, as we are already fanning out in the back there with lap traffic.
Yeah,
I believe that's right around Revolve. Oh, contact Revolve with Siefker.
Gianni saves it though. No damage done, it would seem.
No, that's Revolve, I believe. Oh, wait a minute. That's Revolve. Gianni's on pit road.
Oh, never mind. It's Tommy Raval. So Raval is just not enjoying this in the slightest. Siefker manages to.
Oh, Solwedge contact with Revolve that time again. They're just brute forcing the guy now. This isn't any fun.
Yeah, that's the sort of stuff you expect to see in stock cars around here, not so much in an open wheeler.
Come on, guys. Come on.
Yeah, it's definitely a hair-raising situation in any case for these guys. As I'm looking further back, Dakota DeMade, who's gotten up to 6th, fighting it out with Logan Spath.
This
is for 6th position.
Gets the position.
Indeed he does, and now J.J. Wang in 5th. Siefker 4th, Schlosser in 3rd as our 2 leaders. Got a bit of a gap to work with. They're running a different fuel strategy than everybody else. The 2 leaders have stayed out on the stop, trying to make it all the way on this tank.
Nice cut over.
Beautiful. Beautiful crossover move. Dakota DeMade trying to get to the low side on Logan Spath. Spath is going to have that high line. It's been pretty strong all night. Still wheel to wheel. DeMade looking to make it pretty even as they cross the stripe into 1 and 2. Bath trying to cover that momentum on that high side. Can he get the launch? Looks like he will.
So not stopping at that pit stop was only Benzie and Sanders. Schlosser comes out. He comes out as the leader out of that pit stop. Siefker is next in line, then J.J. Wang, and then Logan Spath. DeMade, Solwedge, Johnston, and Titus Sherlock, who's back in a battle of his own right now to stay in the top 10 with Cody in the Fish car. That's for 10th and 11th right there. But a whole new battle is developed up at the top with Matt Schlosser coming off of pit road, the fastest out of everyone else. He was only in the box for 4 seconds. I don't know. I mean, that might be a splash and go. He might have decided just to stay on the same tires.
Yeah, I mean, at that rate, the tire change is a lot slower than the fuel for just a top up there. So,
I mean, a tire change is about 5 seconds, right? You might have to go back and replay to check that out real quick just to verify. But I think that's a splash only. He went fuel only. He is gambling on tires, even though that he stopped on lap 99. He is on tires that are probably 37 laps old, just like our P1 and P2, our leaders right now.
Looking at it, and he did not go up on the jack. So those are old tires underneath the 400 machine.
What a gamble. And right now, track position is everything. And look at Siefker, even with the new tires, having a very hard time trying to get around him. And I don't think really Schlosser is holding him up any. It's just they can't get around him.
Yeah, the dirty air that Schlosser's throwing on to Nate Siefker and J.J. Wang really helping him in this instance because they're having to scramble for grip, looking for aerodynamic grip anywhere they can find it, and Schlosser can dictate that.
Here's a view from J.J. Wang's car. And again, it just dirty air. He has a track position. Go ahead.
Logan. And Spath and Dakota DeMay fighting it out. This is for 6. Spath has gotten around him up into 6th position. So Logan Spath, once again, was up in the top 5 earlier, fell down towards the top 10, towards the back of the top 10, and now making inroads back up to the point once more. And he's definitely enjoying the pace he's got underneath him.
Watching Dakota DeMay from the Robbie Gordon cam. And, yeah, they can't get around. They can't get a run on Schlosser right now to get around him. I mean, Schlosser's not necessarily holding him up, but he controls the air for this group. Here comes Spath.
Logan Spath trying to get the run on J.J. Wang. This is for 5th. And Spath
using the brake a little bit there to help the car rotate.
Yeah. Yep, he's dragging the brake a little bit, getting the car to rotate that little bit better. And also not hurt his tires too hard either. Logan Spath.
Look at him grab the apron there a little bit to help the car rotate.
Yeah, I've seen a few drivers do that. Kostek Solwich was doing that earlier, and a few other drivers were. It's something you can get away with, but you got to be very certain about your car placement to make that work.
It's a fine line because that will bust your car loose, and you'll end up ending your day.
Yeah, we were talking earlier about a race at Michigan we were covering in this series a little while back, where the leader was put a lap down. The winner was put a lap down when they crossed the line because they used the apron as the place to pass. You don't have that problem here because what apron? You try going down that low, yeah, you're not going to have a good time in any case. Doesn't matter.
I think you can go down there to a degree, and then you'll eventually get the penalty.
Yeah,
if you want to, you know, tempt fate, go ahead, try it. But at some point, the penalty is going to come in.
Yeah, you can, but at what cost is the big thing there. And not to mention, particularly when you try to go down onto the pit exit as well, you could easily wreck the car as easily as you can get a penalty.
Hey, my good friend Matthew Short checking in chat. And we are having quite the entertaining race, Matt. 117 of 150 in the books, very quickly counting them down. Matt Schlosser is really, he is commanding effectively positions 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, now 8 as DeMay and Solwich back in 7th and 8th. He is controlling that entire group of cars at the moment. Oh, here comes Solwich and Spath.
Yeah, Solwich is seeing an opportunity.
Oh, here we go. We're going to go 3 wide a little bit. Nope. 2 wide.
Almost tried to make it 3 wide going into turn 1 to Kostek Solwich. Not quite enough, though. And it's brought Dakota DeMay back into the fight once more. This is a 4-car tussle. Look at Solwich. Dives it down the inside of Logan Spath. Almost made contact in the middle of the corner.
He just barrels out of that corner. Now here comes Dakota.
Exactly the moment he was looking for. Not quite enough to get up alongside Kostek at the moment. That 222 machine is looking pretty feisty. Looking to get the position on Spath. And all this time, we were saying it before and we'll say it again, Matt Schlosser in 3rd place up there. He is dictating this pace right now.
Contact with Spath in the wall, and we are not cautioned. But
no caution yet.
Well, we're going to watch this again. We're going to watch, and I can't say that there was, I can't say that there was, I can't say if there was a net code on that one or not.
There was, but it was still pretty close regardless. So Logan Spath.
Oh, he was going to come up into him anyways. And then,
and
then iRacing promptly forgives him and gives back whatever damage Solwich got, and that is going to end Spath's day.
Yep, and he has just punched out Logan Spath.
He can't be happy.
Yeah, he's going to be fuming at that one. And it was a good race they were having, just ended incredibly poorly with inches to spare, it would seem. And meanwhile, ahead of it all, Matt Schlosser in 3rd place, about 3 seconds behind our leader, Caleb Bensi, and Gavin Sanders about half a second behind him. This strategy right now is giving them the track position. The question, of course, is fuel.
Yeah, we'll check that out here.
Even.
Yeah, we will check that out. We'll start doing some ride-alongs and listening to if they're breathing the throttle. These guys behind him, though, they don't have to breathe it. It is a full send environment as they topped off the tanks, and they should be good to go full rich.
They should be, definitely. And Schlosser particularly, he's got to be enjoying this opportunity to maybe not catch up to the leaders at this stage of the game, but to lead this pack of cars here and hold them up. I
don't think he's holding them up. That's the thing. I mean, he's turning laps in the 22.6s, and everyone else behind him is turning laps in the 22.6. I don't think he's really holding them up. He's just controlling the air.
He is, and doing pretty well at the moment, I must say. Nate Siefker has got to be frustrated at this situation, particularly because he can't really make inroads on Matt Schlosser, but he's got a 00 machine, JJ Wang, to contend with. He's going to be diving it on the low side. Look at the grip that JJ's got.
Oh, JJ, don't slide up.
On the exit. Not quite enough to clear him. Now he does clear him, but JJ Wang really putting the pressure on Siefker. Siefker does not want this in the slightest.
23 to go, and this is exactly what Schlosser wants to see, and this is exactly what Caleb and Gavin Sanders wants to see. Before we get out of here, once again, you're just joining us. You're watching coverage of round 7 of 12 of the Formula Indy Series, coming to you from the Milwaukee Mile, where we're having a very exciting battle here for third spot for the EchoBlade 150. We're currently, Caleb Benzie is on the precipice of getting his second career oval win, making him the career wins leaders on ovals. But first, he has to get into that checkered flag with 22 laps to go. Thanks for joining us. Make sure to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel so don't mess out on the next race. And this battle for third rages on.
Schlosser getting a bit of a gap on Siefker, but JJ Wang, look at him going all the way onto the curbing there, trying to get the grip. That cost him there, and Solwich takes advantage. He's going to be peeking down on the low side here.
Oh, he gets a little squirrely there in the middle of the corner.
He did. He got squirrely, and lost momentum there. And JJ, look at the dive he's making. And so far, almost cleared Siefker. Siefker's up to 1.
So we know JJ and Siefker have raced each other for a number of seasons in this league. We know Dakota has raced a number of these drivers. The wild card in here is Kostic, and Kostic has kind of brute forced his way in a couple situations with drivers around him that makes some other people, if you're a driver coming up on him, you're like, do I really want to race this guy real close? Can I trust him? But Solwich is using a little bit of aggression to get his way to the front. But will that impact the way that people race around him as we go side by side between JJ and Siefker for 4th spot? Here comes Solwich. He's going to go look to the outside.
Yeah, he was just trying to think, where do I go here after JJ Wang lost momentum against Siefker? And JJ probably getting frustrated in his own right here. And then the thing you got to worry in this instance, how are his tires going to hold up?
Okay, we got a battle brewing up at the front, and it's really brewing up at the front because here comes Gavin Sanders all over Benzie.
Yeah, you guys forgot that they were this close, didn't you? Gavin Sanders.
He reeled him back in a little bit. But I'm trying to hear. Let's listen. Let's try to hear, see if any fuel saving for Caleb. It doesn't sound like it.
It doesn't really. He's running the sort of revs that I would imagine you would at full tilt. He's got a lap car ahead of them in the form of Christopher Hill. That's definitely not going to be doing him any favors, I will say. Hill definitely knows the situation, definitely a very intelligent driver. But this battle here, this is going to throw the calculus a little bit haywire here. Benzie and Sanders, two very strong competitors, and Benzie on the precipice of taking the championship lead regardless of the result. But we all know Benzie wants to win this race and get himself as the only repeat winner on an oval in this series, and he clears Christopher Hill, and Sanders gets held up here, and Hill's going to let them go into 3 and 4, it would seem.
Well, Sanders gets the win. He'll be the all-time wins leader on an oval. Of course, he got the win at Texas a couple weeks ago. So he's looking now to possibly get the sweep of the ovals this season. 13 to go as he runs down our leader, 0.3 of a second in front of him. as now with the lap traffic out of the way, Bensi starts to pull away just a little bit.
Yeah, that lap car played into Bensi's favor that go around. And it's kind of becoming a repeat of what we saw last time out at Laguna Seca. Sanders trying to run down Bensi. Can Bensi hold them off? It's going to be deja vu. Make your initial D jokes here, folks. Yeah, we're really it's staying pretty even with them at the moment, but Sanders coming to the stripe this time around. About pretty even between them the last time by. Sanders trying to get any sort of advantage he can here, trying to get the grip and catch up to Caleb Bensi to run down the end of this race. And one thing I'll note too, all this, Schlosser seems to have gained a little bit of a gap. Not quite enough to get
but he's got lap traffic in front of him, and we've seen all the way around this racetrack all race long that if you get the lap traffic, it is going to hold you up, and that battle behind him is just going to get tightened. So we're going to see what happens when he gets to Hill. Is Hill going to just kind of move over and let the battle go by in the last 10 laps, or is he going to try to sit there and race it out? The same thing for Kyle Allen just ahead of him.
Yeah, Hill looks like he's gonna.
That's gonna throw this. That's gonna tighten this thing up. That's gonna tighten this battle up. And also look at the Seifer and Wang. They were side by side. Schlosser, I think's a little perturbed about Hill. I don't know if he knew where Hill was going. I don't think Hill expected Schlosser to go on the high side. So now Hill gets out of the way, but that closes the gap.
It's closed up a little bit. It's about half a second between him and Seifer.
Solwedge is down on the apron.
Oh, yeah, Kostek Solwedge down on the apron, trying to get by J.J. Wang, who is using that high line very well, and Wang down on the low side now on Nate Seifer. And once again, that high line momentum really working out for Seifer at the moment in P4. J.J., though, look at the run he's getting here on the apron. But yet again, look at Seifer. That high line, he's getting a lot of momentum up there.
And then Solwedge could just probably follow him on through, and he picks up another position. Here we go, coming off the corner. We're going to go 3-2 wide.
And Solwedge again, down on that low side. Look at him go. Solwedge really been playing aggressive tonight. And it may well work out for him. He is going to clear Seifer up into P4. And next up is Matt Schlosser. What can he do about him? Oh, but Seifer comes right back at him on the low side. Not quite enough. Solwedge holds him on up top.
We move to the battle up front as Gavin got to the attenuator of Caleb, and now he's got lap traffic in the way, but now he's back at it on the front straight. He's there.
4
to go now.
Sanders.
Oh, Kostek Solwedge purple lap in the closing stages. Closers be closing as he's gotten around that entire group and is going to try to run down Schlosser here with just 4.5, now 3.5 to go.
That's definitely turning into an interesting fight, but the battle for the win, 3 to go this time around. Gavin Sanders backs off there a little bit against Caleb Bensi, trying to get that momentum on exit, but what has happened there? Sanders lost a good chunk of time there, it looks like. But now he gains it all right back.
Kostek Solwedge, 222.2 versus a 224.4 by Schlosser. So that battle is going to become close here before this race is over.
Sanders still right on the attenuator. 1.5 laps to go in Milwaukee. 4 more corners after this. White flag in the air. Caleb Bensi trying to go 2 in a row and take the championship lead.
Oh,
Sanders
to the inside of Sanders!
Side by side off the corner. Bensi gets the momentum. Bensi holds on to it for the time being. Sanders has got one more go at it. And he's going to go for it once more now on that low side. Still side by side.
Bensi's going to get blown out the corner.
Bensi holds on for the win. Caleb Bensi wins at Milwaukee.
Schlosser comes home third.
Holds off Solwedge for third. Fantastic finish. And Caleb Benzie, hold on for another one. Matt Schlosser gets on the podium. Excellent drive.
And there you see Caleb Benzie getting the win. He is now your FIS career wins leaders on an oval. Backing up, which a win that came forever and a day ago. That was our very first season at Indianapolis. Caleb won the 500. A little bit of controversy with some other racers in that race, I remember, but he won the 500, or won not our 500, but it was I believe it was either a 120, 120 lapper, 300 mile, or a 250 mile. I can't remember. I have to go back and look at league history, but that was his last oval win back in season 1. He gets the win today by 1/10 of a second over Gavin Sanders. Now remember, Gavin said that his goal this season is to continue talking to us on post-race interviews. Well, guess what? We're going to talk to him again. Matt Schlosser getting his best finish ever here in the league with such a great call on pit road. We're going to talk to him about that. Kosta Solway getting, I think, his best finish here in the series in 4th. Dakota, a top 5 on an oval. What do you expect from this guy? This guy is very good here, and he got around. We didn't even see that whole battle develop back there after Solwich got around, because we had such the battle for 3rd and for 4th and for 1st and 2nd that Dakota snuck on the 5th, and he got around Seifer Wang. So that is 5th, 6th, and 7th there. And Johnston Sherlock, he survives the day, brings it home 9th, but I'm sure he wanted a better finish. Cody Claiborne, the lead amateur in the fish car, in 10th. That's a good finish for him. We got a Kidda, Rutherford, Watson, Hill, and Cements is your Cements. Excuse me. It's with the Z. Joey's discussed this with me before. I say it wrong sometimes. It's Cements, not Cements. Cements, and he comes home 15th. Tommy, well, he survives the 16th. Kyle Allen survives the 17th. Spath not gonna like this finish in 18th. Hayden Herman, his corporate teammate there, 19th. Tristan Moss, one of the Eclipse cars, having a rough day in turns 3 and 4, coming home 20th. Lamarge, Gianni, Goyette, Hunter Ingrave with the DC, unfortunately. And that is not indicative of the day he was having. He was in 2nd place. Kyle Mundell, Miglin, Rutherford. Remainder of your top, or your 27 car field here. All right, let's get some replays queued up, and then let's get into the interview room. And all right. All right. Let's cue this music out. All right, and we'll kill the B-roll here, and we will get into the interviews. And Matt's already waiting there. He's ready to come on up. He's like, man, I've earned my podium interview. I am going to show up for it. So here he is. We'll bring him up in here.
I would agree with you.
Here he is. Matt Schlosser, congratulations, P3 with the call of the race. Coming to pit road, but just enough to top off the tank, not take the tires, beating everyone else out. And that track position paid dividends in a huge way. Congratulations. Great call.
Thank you. Yeah. I didn't know if it was going to work. I was like, man, it feels like even on old tires, the lap times are staying pretty consistent, not dropping too much. And obviously when you get behind another car, it becomes tough to pass in the dirty air. So I just gave it a try. I was like, it might work or I might fall back. But once I was able to hold off Nate for a little bit and then he got to racing, I think it was JJ and a couple others, I realized I might have had a chance. So fortunately it worked out. The tires were a little cooked at the end, so I might not have been able to go too much longer, but it was luckily it panned out for me.
Go ahead, Steve.
Yeah, that was one thing we noticed right at the end there. You were holding them off for quite a while on those old tires, and then Kostic finally got around Siefker, DeMade and company, and really would have put the pressure on you earlier. But overall, it seemed like a very strong. It was definitely obviously a very strong night for you overall tonight. Not just at the end here, but you had pace pretty much the whole race there. I'm guessing this is a track that you really enjoy.
Yeah, I like Milwaukee. I've raced it a lot in other disciplines. I haven't done too many IndyCar races here, but I was able to fall back on a little bit of oval experience. I kind of learned sim racing on ovals first, and then got into road racing. So it's kind of my original learning set there. But yeah, I mean, obviously racing with everyone in this league, I feel like my IndyCar skills have grown exponentially just showing up and racing with these guys because they're so good. And you learn so much just following people and watching the broadcast and figuring out what they do to be successful. So a little bit of luck, a little bit of strategy, and a good qualifying run so I didn't get caught too far in the back helped me out.
Well, a great run. Best finish ever here in the FIS for you. P3 podium. I know you're very, very happy. We made sure we had the right paint job for you today and everything. So shout out city friends, family, sponsors you want to say hi to on this this great run. And that was a fantastic call. Clearly nobody else was thinking of that. And that really is what did it for you. But shout outs, anybody you want to say hi to, go right ahead.
Yeah, shout out to the guys who run the league, FIS. I've run multiple seasons in FIS and FSS and always enjoy it. So appreciate them putting it together. Thanks to you guys for the broadcast. Always enjoy watching it back. Shout out to you for, I know I've asked you to reload my paint a few times, so I promise I won't do it anymore. I appreciate it. I was having a paint scheme crisis, so I appreciate your help. But,
Yeah.
No problem.
Yeah, but pretty much that's it. Yeah, just shout out to really everyone in the league. I enjoy racing here a lot, and looking forward to next week.
And back to the road courses next week at Sachsenring. But if this oval expertise of yours picks up, we got one more to go. Maybe we see another good finish out of you leading up to and maybe including Nashville. But congrats, man. This is the way you start a roll in this league, is you get on the podium and they breed other good finishes. So we look forward to seeing more of you in the future.
Sounds good. I appreciate it. And yeah, we'll see you next week at Sachsenring.
And that is a very happy Matt Schlosser. And that was, as IQ calls go, that was a 1,000 IQ call. He was playing chess. Everyone else around him on pit road was clearly playing checkers.
Yeah.
Or, I mean, it was,
well
and I take that back also. I mean, I don't want to take it. I don't want to say that wrong. I don't want to take all that back necessarily, but it was a huge gamble. But
it was.
But I mean, in terms of doing something else that nobody else thought of, I mean, that was chess while everyone else around him was playing checkers. That just paid off huge.
Absolutely. Very well done on the strategy. That it was great opportunism, and he took full advantage of it and got the result he well and truly deserved.
Now let's bring up the next guy who, here he is. And once again, he is keeping the string alive of talking to us for a post-race interview. But Gavin, full send Sanders on the last lap, did it twice, but didn't quite have the momentum on the bottom side to kind of pull that pass off. Made it look good, though. We yelled into our mics. We made it exciting as possible. But the high side momentum ultimately was what got the edge on you. You went with the one stopper. Let's talk about that first, and then let's talk about the finish second. How close were we on fuel, or was it not even close at all?
Oh, no. It was, I think I had 0.6 liters remaining. So whatever the conversion is on that, that's essential. I burped out of 4. So
Yeah.
yeah, it was map 5 and lift and coast, and I think Caleb was on the same plan, but just doing the math and trying to figure it out. The gaps were ebbing and flowing, and then I thought I had a couple opportunities, maybe small opportunities to catch up, but I didn't really want to burn fuel and risk it, because I knew if I had to get in front of him and then hold him off, I would be lifting halfway down the straightaway to then drive into the corner. So it'd be relatively straightforward for him to pass me back. So tried to be as calculated as possible, and obviously it ended up being pretty exciting for you guys. So that's it all works out, I guess.
Before I pass it over to Stevie, just a quick follow. When did you know that you had the green flag that you could go after him and attack? Was it, with 5 to go, 10 to go, or it just there never really was a time, and at some point you just had to say?
Gary, I was full fuel safe until maybe 3 to go.
Okay.
And at that point, I was still map 5. I just changed my driving style. So.
All right.
Yeah,
that's how close it was. Wow.
Yeah, I will say, politely, there are a lot of confused people in here right now, so it's okay. I'm not surprised.
Yeah, because even with the pace that, even with the fuel saving that you and obviously Caleb were both doing, you were still holding a pretty even gap between yourself and the battle for third. I mean, they were fighting amongst themselves for a good chunk of the time, but you still had really good pace underneath you that was still able to hold the gap consistently. And but overall, right at the end, just wasn't quite enough. Do you think there was anything anything different that could have happened or should have happened for that one?
Not really. I don't think it was on the cards to pass under green. I think we saw that as you mentioned, the gap kind of stabilized and stayed put, even though Caleb and I were lifting rather early and only going into 4th gear and waiting until halfway around the corner to accelerate again. No brake, obviously, and just it was full momentum based and save as much as you can, and the gap kind of stayed the same, just based off of everyone's pace behind us and them not being able to kind of figure it out. It turns into a battle for the clean air, and then from there it's extremely difficult to get anything done. Just obviously the track's flat and in nature, and it's difficult to create runs. So I think that played a huge factor, and I was struggling as well when I kind of had a little bit of a slip up on the initial start. So
before we get the shout outs, was there any concerns of the guys with the new tires getting the run on you, or did you know that Matt only went fuel only and was also on the same lap old tires as you were?
I assumed that everyone would go fuel only, just as I think it was 3 liters on that to save on that last caution. I'd saved a good bit on the runs prior, so even if I did pit, it would have been literally for 2 seconds. So I assumed that they would do that, and he jumped up a fair amount of spots in the process. So I guess that was what his strategy was. But
he was the only one that did it. He was the only one that did it. Yeah.
That's surprising, because I was thinking that everyone. Okay. Anyway.
No. Yeah.
Then interesting stuff, but the track temp was rather low tonight, so tire wear wasn't really much of a factor, and that kind of stuck it to us just right away. I mean, I think I set my PB laps midway through a stint, and it was interesting because the outlap and initial first, I think maybe 4 laps were very difficult with the fronts just getting everything up to temp, and then after that nothing really ever went away, so it was kind of a very severe inverse of what I'm used to.
Shout outs, friends, family, sponsors. I know you have one that you have to shout out. It's a title sponsor of the race, so go ahead.
Of course. Big thank you to you guys for putting on an awesome broadcast as always. Thank you to all the people watching this. Thank you to our large contingent of drivers. It's spectacular to see just everybody in here all the time. It is phenomenal, and having a big grid makes this even more entertaining. So obviously Guys, it's the EchoBlade 150. If there's no better occasion, go buy EchoBlade on Steam right now. Just do it tonight. Get out of the way. Dakota will love you forever because he's also confused about how we managed to save that much gas. So make his night a little bit better. Go buy EchoBlade on Steam. And big thank you to Team MILWAUKEE Esports as well. I hope that Zach is back with us, but I'm sure he had a great night off, and we'll see him shortly.
Yeah.
We could have invited him to the booth again if we would have known that. But another podium, another interview down. We'll check the points here momentarily, but good run, and we appreciate the drama at the end, even though he figured you didn't have a shot. But you know what? If you never send it, you never get a delivery. So that's
as someone way smarter than me said, if car gap.
Congratulations, Gavin. We'll catch you when we go back to the road courses next week.
Thank you.
See ya.
See ya.
And here is Caleb. We'll bring him up here. Caleb, we were just really kind of talking to Gavin a little bit long there because we were trying to find out more about the one-stop strategy you guys pulled off. He said it burped a little bit in 3 and 4 on him. How much were you able to save? And when did you finally decide that you were able to go racing, or was it conserve all the way to the end?
Conserve all the way to the end. Yeah, that when the caution came out before that, I guess that last pit stop we ended up making, I wasn't even saving at all to start that stint. And then we're of course all in the same Discord group chat, all having a good time, but everyone else is saving. So I'm like, man, maybe I should be saving. Like, even I wasn't probably going to make it, but even if a caution came out, to then be able to save to the end if that happened. Started saving a little bit, but at that point I was quite a bit behind what everyone else was doing. And the caution came out, which helped, but not quite enough. And I think I was probably like 8 laps shortish, somewhere around there.
Ooh.
I mean, it was map 5,
Wow.
and I was just trying to maintain as much rolling speed as I could. I was lifting early, no brake, no nothing, just trying to get on throttle, but in a higher gear. And I mean, I didn't leave map 5 that entire last stint, and yeah, I was 0-0-0-0 sputtering right as I crossed the line too. So yeah, it was
wow.
that was my heart rate was probably the highest it's been in a while.
You're young. You're young. You can handle that.
Man.
Now, if you're my age, yeah, you don't want to have that happen too often. But you're young, so that whole run. You were on the edge the whole time. There was the whole run essentially was fuel safe. Was there any thought to coming down pit road and possibly doing what Matt did, and that was just get fuel only and stay on the tires, or anything like that, or was there just no question because track position is king here?
Yeah, I mean, the thought was track position. I really didn't expect everyone except us two to pit. I figured everyone else, with them saving a little bit more before that last night, I thought everyone would be like way ahead and more likely to stay out. And at that point, if you get stuck behind, I don't know, 5-ish cars or whatever, it's really, really hard to get your way back to the front. So yeah, I mean, in retrospect, I wish I pit. It would have made that a lot easier and a lot less stressful. But yeah, I mean, at that point, with the leader, you can't really see what everyone else is doing. And I mean, I guess at that point, you just got to make do with what you got. And yeah, I really don't know how, but yeah, somehow made that work.
Go ahead.
Go
ahead, Stevie. Ask him another question. Get his mind off fuel.
Yeah. But yeah, like we were talking with Gavin, and he was in a pretty similar boat to you. I think he said he only had like 0.6 of a liter. That's about 0.116 gallons as they crossed the line.
Yeah.
But overall, like, you did everything you could. You did everything you needed to do, and now the new championship leader is you. Going into next time out, Titus didn't exactly have the best of runs this go around, and next time out we're going to a track that's probably new to the vast majority of us at the Sachsenring. Have you, against all odds, ever driven that track before?
As of what, 5 hours ago. Yes, I have driven.
What do you think so far?
But I actually enjoy it. First section's tough and a little almost like clumsy, I feel like, but it does have a nice flow, at least the back half. But yeah, it's rare where I jump in a track and have no idea where it goes. And in a way, it's very fun because you truly can like build up the speed. Every lap is faster. Find the limit more and more. So it is a fun process learning a new track. But obviously, in terms of fighting for a championship, that's not ideal to have to learn a whole new track. But
not one of the late rounds either. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. But it'll be fun. I think it'll be tough to pass from everything I kind of gathered on that little test. There's maybe 1 or 2 passing zones, but I mean, I think tire wear as always will be a factor, which will obviously cause a lot of comers and goers. But yeah, I mean, I love oval racing though. I know we probably, in retrospect, needed a little bit more heat and everything to get some more tire wear and get some more disparity in some lap times and stuff, because there wasn't a ton here. But yeah, oval racing is just so much fun in these cars. I feel like I don't get to do it as much as I maybe did back in the RAL days and stuff like that. But and when we do, just the tracks like this especially, where it requires like so much finesse and precision and just kind of dancing that car on the edge, letting the right rear hang out a little bit, like that's so much fun to do. So yeah, to obviously bring it home at the end with another win is icing on the cake for sure.
Before we get the shout outs, you led them all today. I don't know if you knew that.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, you got the pole, you got the win. You did not get the purple lap. I think Soul Edge got it there in the closing stages as he was kind of storming up through that battle that was happening in the mid-pack of the top 10. But just missed on the Grand Salami on a road on an oval, no less. That's very hard to do. So congrats, at least on 3 of 4 there. We're waiting for Zach to update the points. He's being slow. I don't know if he's not available to do it right now. He's not available. So we don't know what the points are, but we know we're pretty sure you're going to be the points leader coming out of today. And we're got no time off, literally. We're going to go to another track that's brand new that you just begun testing at. So the challenges don't get any less for you, but overall, a successful day go. You had a heck of a successful day, all things considered. And any shout-outs, friends, family, sponsors? We know the fam's watching. We didn't because you had such a big lead at some points during the race. We were constantly kind of watching a lot of these little battles for around 4th and 5th and 6th and 7th. So we didn't get a lot of screen time for you. So maybe the family might not be as happy that you dominated today, but maybe only got 15% of the camera time. But shout-outs, friends, family, sponsors, still on a heck of a day.
Yeah, it's understandable because up front with the clean air, I've just kind of lollygagging around, just biding time until the fuel saving happened. But yeah, first of all, as always, it's fun racing against Gavin, somebody you could trust, because I know some people in those situations probably would have tried something stupid or probably taken me out. So yeah, I always enjoy racing with him. I know we have a lot of trust in each other, and that's back-to-back weeks where we're all over each other basically that entire race. So yeah, always a good time. And yeah, as you said, family and friends tuning in, supporting as always. Thanks to you guys. Amiga Sakira, Northeast Ohio, if you're ever around here, check it out. Joey Selman's Motorsports Art as well. Yeah, it's just pretty awesome with how the year started to get 2 in a row. I really wasn't expecting that. So hopefully we can keep that momentum going in the last little stretch here.
Let's see what that brings you stat-wise here. We'll at least give you your stat line here in league history. 68 starts now. This is your 9th win, your 47th top 5, and your 55th top 10. And let's see, laps led coming into today. You led a 504 laps in league history. And you can just throw another 150 on top of that. And that's your current line, your stat line in league history that we see right now. So way to go, man. Congrats, dominant day. And I think it starts the momentum now, the second half of the season, toward possibly a second championship. We shall see. But a couple more road courses to go and one more oval, and it'll decide this thing.
Yep, should be exciting. I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully we can keep it going for sure.
Congratulations on the win number 9 in his FIS career, and now also the career wins leaders on ovals with a grand spanking number of 2.
Yeah.
Congratulations on that one as well. Caleb, we'll catch you at the next one.
Yep, sounds good. Thank you, guys.
Wow. Again, a very controlled race. A lot of good manners out there for the most part. A little brute force out there at some points. I think a couple people thought they had a target on them, but we got done pretty quick. I think the interviews went a little bit longer than parts of the race, but you know, happy people want to talk. We want to talk to those happy people that earned a step on the podium here for it was not an easy race by any stretch of the imagination, as it seemed like with the conditions it was press, and then if you're not pressing, certainly with the lead pack guys, the top 3 or the top 2, you were saving.
Yeah, and when you say that they earned the position, that's meant sincerely. Like, this was a race where you had to earn the results you got. And we saw that obviously with our winner, Bensi and Sanders. We saw it with Matt Schlosser. Kostek Solwich was getting rough and getting pretty rough with some of the drivers around him to get 4th place. Dakota DeMay played it well and got 5th as well. So, like, a lot of these drivers, they came here to play, and they played incredibly well on a short oval, a track that is the first time we've ever done that in this series. And I gotta say, it's probably impetus for them to do that a bit more often.
It sounds like from both of them, like, we don't do enough oval racing, but this is really the MO of the FIS is really going back into their roots, is road course and street course racing, and with the occasional. But as someone that specializes in oval track racing like myself, and open wheel oval track racing at that, I like to see more ovals out there as well. But a good day all around, and now we move on to a brand spanking new track that neither one of us have ever seen. And it's going to be a bit interesting, as pretty much everybody is going to be in the same boat, being rookies at this upcoming news track here next week as we continue the championship. And let me bring up the schedule on the screen so we can talk about that. And there it is. Sachsenring is next, then Spa, as we run a variation of the Spa course, the bike course, VIR, then the last oval at Nashville, and then we're going to finish up at Road Atlanta, where it won't turn into a night race. But talk about Sachsenring. You don't know much about it. I don't know much about it. We just know it's in Germany, and a lot of motorcycles used to race there.
Yep, and still do.
And still do, for sure. It's Motorsports und mehr, according to the Germans. But any final thoughts here from Milwaukee before we move on and get on out of here for the night?
Overall, fantastic here tonight. And you go to that slogan that the Sachsenring has there, Motorsports und mehr, motorsports and more. We definitely got our share of motorsports, and it was... and many would say it was more than some may have expected to see here tonight. But Milwaukee very rarely fails to deliver, and it definitely delivered tonight.
All right. Let's get on out of here and give everyone back their Wednesday nights, as we're getting out of here at a pretty decent hour. That was a very fast race. So that's it for tonight, everybody. Once again, your podium from the Milwaukee Mile for the EchoBlade 150 is Matt Schlosser getting his first podium here in league history, coming home 3rd with the master call of the day, really. Master call of the season so far, really by far, getting him the podium there. And he holds a charging Kostek Solwich there to get 3rd on the podium. Gavin Sanders, another podium interview to help him with his hunt in the championship, as he creeps closer, at least to Titus Sherlock. And Caleb Bensi now starts to pull away from Titus Sherlock a little bit with the win here. 9th career win here in the FIS. Join us again next week for round 8 of the Formula Indy Series, as we head to the Sachsenring for the first time in history and channel history. Remember, due to the change in the Support Series schedule, coverage next week and for the remainder of the season will begin around 8:20 p.m. Eastern Time. As always, for the most up-to-date broadcast time in your area, make sure to check out our YouTube channel at youtube.com/@P1 Broadcasting for the correct start time in your area. Now, as you know, the YouTube algorithm game's not an easy one, so please help support P1 with the weekly grind. Leave a comment below. Let us know you thought of tonight's race, and if you enjoyed tonight's coverage, support us by smashing like in the video. If you're new, click subscribe, and while you're at it, hit the bell for weekly reminders so don't miss out on more of P1's other iRacing programming, including the start of the 2025 IndyCar iRacing Series season. It's this Saturday at 1 p.m. at Sebring. Don't miss it. It's all right here. Tonight's coverage is sponsored by EchoBlade by Sunset Arctic Games. EchoBlade is a puzzle combat dungeon explorer. You'll find yourself blind and trapped inside an expansive tower labyrinth. Shrouded in total darkness, you must navigate your way to freedom using only sound as your guide. One ping only, please. To learn more or to buy EchoBlade, find it on Steam today. All the links you need are in the description. Track cams for this race are provided by Whiplash Sim Cams. Get the most out of your iRacing experience with Whiplash Sim Cams. To learn more, like Whiplash on Facebook or follow them on X and Instagram. Links are in the description. For business inquiries and to learn more about P1 and what we do, like us on Facebook or follow us on X and Instagram. You can follow all of our social links on Linktree, and you can find all those in the description. So for Stevie Larkamp, everyone here at FIS and P1, I'm Gary Gatto saying all. And don't forget, I am the voice of the FIS. Good night, and thanks for watching. And to all of our men and women serving in the military and as first responders, Godspeed, God bless, and come home safe. Catch us again right here next week at our new regular start time of 8:20 p.m. Eastern Time in Sachsenring for the next race of the Formula Indy Series on P1. Have a good night.